All right, everybody. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. We're going to continue, of course, today doing more of the spoopy Halloween sketches for October here. We've done most of them, so I feel like I'm probably going to only do maybe like two more, which we'll do today, and then after that, we'll vote on which ones to turn into completed illustrations. So maybe one or two illustrations. I'm not trying to spread myself too thin and have the scope of it be like way too, too much for like 1 month. So we'll see how it goes. Especially since there's still some things I really need to like work on. I need to get the emotes, the badges done, all that good stuff. Anyway, let's go ahead and hop on over here. So far, we did the werewolf sketch, we did the succubus sketch, we did the red ghost sketch, we did a wraith, we did the kaiju, we did a Smegsy Mothman with abs. And finally, we did a zombie here. So I think the sketches turned out pretty good so far. So out of this list here, we still have a couple actually. We have the alien, we have the black eyed kids, we have a slasher slash mass killer, and there is a skeleton warrior actually. So we have a couple left, but I don't know. We'll see. Kind of thinking on the next one here. Oh, I didn't turn on my subtitles. Hold on, let me do that real quick. Again, I don't even know if these will work, but Twitch is yelling at me to get them going, so I'm going to do that. There we go. I'm thinking let's maybe do our black-eyed kids real quick. And let's see. I guess I could probably sketch these freehand and maybe I should get a reference. I probably should get a reference for this. I'm just gonna type creepy kids into into Pinterest here and see what pops up. And we got some pretty creepy kids already. Hey Pensy, how's it going? Oh my goodness, some of these are really creepy already. Jesus. Looking. Oh, there's some black-eyed kids already. More black-eyed kids. I keep seeing them. I don't know. Maybe I should use like reference of like regular kids and then turn them into black-eyed kids. Maybe. No, I'm sorry, Pensy. I get it. I am out of. Well, I know you have your thing going on with your mouth, but I've been out of my ADHD medicine for a day or two here. Luckily, Havoc had something I could take that's like short term here, so that'll hopefully get me through this. But right after stream, I get to go pick up my medicine. I'm sorry you're not feeling well. I hope this stream at least entertained you, let's see here. Oh my goodness, why am I having such a hard time just finding some pictures that I can use for reference? Just not sleeping good? Yeah. Same. I have trouble with that too. Excuse me. I need to get some allergy medicine too when we go out. Or when I go out. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll just sketch him. It'll be fine. I can do this freehand. I'm an artist after all. So I'm gonna start with like a way more basic sketch first, and then we'll change it from there. So it's kind of like when you're drawing like kids or children, like they need to have like larger like heads to their bodies. So we're gonna kind of do it like they're like looking up, like they just knocked on somebody's door, which is like what they do. But they're going to be standing like really stiff and creepy. We'll do it kind of like almost like it's in like perspective here, so we'll just kind of have them, standing like kind of like awkward and stiff. Of course, if this is one of the ones that we turn into an illustration, I'll find like all sorts of references here and we'll make them like better. And we're just gonna kind of have like their eyes here. Maybe we'll just do this real like basic here to start. They usually have like a blank expression. And we'll have like the ears, since they're gonna be a little bit lower since the head is upturned a bit here. Hey, how's it going, Familiar Magic? Welcome. We are doing some spoopy sketching here. Let me actually show you real quick. So what we did is we made a list with chat here, and oh yeah, we're doing Thursdays off from now on. It gives me more time to like, because I usually take Wednesday to do like a bunch of like errands like laundry and kind of clean up and things like that. And that usually ends up taking like all day. So I figured having like one more day of like actual like rest and that I can work on things like off stream, that's it's been helping me feel more like revitalized too, so I can have like more energy. Anyway, so we did spoopy sketches here. We got a werewolf. We got a succubus here. We have a red ghost. We have a wraith. We have a kaiju. We have a sexy Mothman with sexy abs. And then, of course, we have a zombie. So now I'm working on a sketch of some black-eyed kids here. So we're starting off like super hella basic here. Just kind of give them like a t-shirt. And they'll also be wearing like shorts because I don't know, that makes them like a little creepier. Say their knees are about here. Some socks and some sneakers. Just kind of get the hair going here. Maybe it's a little like messy. Alrighty, cool. So we'll start with one and then we'll see how we feel from there. Alright, so now I can actually start doing like a little bit of a better sketch here. So where is the line brush? There it is. This. Make it a little bit bigger here so we can kind of... Whoops, I need to do that on a different layer. Ha ha ha! Kids have like rounder faces generally because, you know, you have like kind of like that baby fat going on, you know, when you're younger here. And if they actually end up a little bit like distorted, like that's totally okay here because we're going for creepy. I probably could even give them like maybe like dated clothing or something that might even make them more creepy. And we're gonna have a little bit of a shadow under here. And let's get it in here so we can kind of, you know what, I forgot to put the lines as to where things would actually be here, so I'm gonna get them kind of going here. Some guidelines so it's not quite so funky. There we go, that's a bit better. Gives me a little bit of a better guide there to go by. So back to my line brush here. So the mouth would actually be more around here. Let's give him like a semi like kind of creepy little lip here going on. Like, yes, we're weird. We know. Let's kind of give him a little sideburn action here. Maybe he's gonna have like kind of like the swoopy like hair that like I notice like a lot of like younger kids these days have more of like a kind of like either curly or like swoopy hair going on now. And again, we're just doing this nice and loose here because this is just sketching, so we're not too terribly worried about things as much. We'll have this be like kind of, some of his bangs will be a little bit covering some parts here. And we'll have like his ears come out here. And again, the ears are going to be a little lower because the head is tilted like up. So I think the black-eyed children are supposed to be like, aren't they supposed to be like they're kind of like mixed with like aliens or something that makes them like spoopier? I'm not an expert on these. So make this a little wider here now that I've flipped it. You want to make sure you flip your canvas often here because the proportions can get all crazy if you don't. Actually, let's bring that like we'll just fix that like that. Ooh, nice. Yeah, I really liked the one that you posted there. That was pretty smegsy. All right. So I'm gonna make the eyes pretty big here so they can be like spoopy. And I'm thinking maybe we'll give them like white hair or something, so we'll have like some kind of crazy like eyelashes here. And we'll have where it's just like shiny because they're gonna be like really glossy, really like dark eyeballs here. So let's just kind of fill them in. And we'll like erase away where the highlights are here. And I kind of feel like it'd be creepier if like they didn't have like eyebrows, you know. So we'll just kind of give them like, it's gonna be kind of like some shadow here. We'll make them as creepy as possible. I think maybe I'll give them like some like kind of different clothing might make them a little more creepy. Let's get kind of like where the shadowing would be a little bit here. And we're going to flip it back real quick. Actually, you know what? We're going to keep it this way, and we're going to go ahead and do this other eyeball here. And I want to flip it, make sure it doesn't look super crazy. Looks like it's doing all right now. Let's get the eyeball area filled in here. Wow, this one's like super sloppy compared to the other one. And we're gonna have some more shadowing here. Ooh, maybe we can have like one side of the face like in shadow. Let's do that. Right here and like right here will not be in shadow, so gonna do some real basic hatching across here. Like, imagine, like, ringing the doorbell. Somebody rings the doorbell, and you look through and you see this, like, kid looking at you, and they're all creepy and weird. I'd be like, nope, nope, nope. Sure as hell would not open the door. I'd be scared if they could still get in even with your door, like, closed or locked. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, do they have like spoopy telekinesis that they can open the door with, or are they just really creepy kids? Do you have any games on your phone? Yeah, I think that's what I remember like seeing from like those shows where they're like talking about like the paranormal and stuff. But usually like don't like aliens usually have some sort of like psychic aspect to them, I think. Gotcha, gotcha. So they're not even necessarily, I mean, they could actually not even necessarily be like kids or hybrids. They could actually just be like a psychic illusion. That the aliens are like, we're gonna fuck with you today. Oh yeah, we should make it more flippy on this side too. Give them like some little kid hair is usually more like kind of like wild. He's looking creepy already. Hmm. Let's kind of. I don't know. Maybe I won't give him like older clothes because then I'd have to like look that up. So maybe I'll do that if they gets like chosen for in our votes. Maybe then I'll do that. Actually, let's give him more of like a shadow on the neck here for the head because the head is huge. But for real though, he's like, "Do you have any games on your phone?" I mean, that's what I'm here for. It's like my whole deal as totally normal human worm baby. Good snacks, yeah. I know you have the full size bars at your house. The other creepy children already told me you can't lie. Delete it. Also, this needs to be like out more, and then it needs to be a little more squish, kind of this way. It needs to be bigger towards the top. Squish it out towards the bottom. We're gonna try to go for that like crazy perspective, and then maybe like we can do like almost we can do like a fisheye like kind of like distortion on it. We're gonna make this like, yeah, like the perspective's like super crazy here, like so we're gonna make the hand like really small. Also is child. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's give myself some help with the hand here. That we'll do. So the thumb, and we'll have it kind of going like this. We're just gonna kind of have the hands like dangling because they're kind of just being creepy. Alright, that should be a little bit of a better guide here. Shows you how often I draw kids. I don't ever draw kids. It's like I was struggling even like to draw like younger Val like in the webtoon. Give him some chunky fingers here. One, two, three, four. Okay, there we go. I just had to make sure he had enough fingers. I don't know. As a black hat kid, maybe he would have like. Wow, that hand is actually like super long. Let's. Kind of needs to actually be brought in quite a bit there. There we go. It's a bit better. Let's like round this off some more here. So it's like his arm. It's kind of like bent a little bit down. And of course there's going to be like a lot of shadowing here. Like that. And then actually let's do under here we can do some shadows too. So we'll have like all the lighting kind of like towards the top here. But I want actually want his head to like also cast like a giant shadow, so be kind of like this. He looks really stupid. Kind of get his little boy shorts down here. And they're also going to be in a shadow. Yeah. Dude. Like I said, it's going to be standing like real stiff to be even more like crazy, creepy here, so. And this will be like his knees are kind of, well actually, you know what? His knees would be more up here. No. Stop. No. Erase. Yeah. Hey, creepy is what we're going for here, so. Alright. Yeah, little tiny shoes. Little baby daddy house shoes. Send Havoc this like really funny TikTok. Alright, so all that is gonna be like kinda in shadow here. We're gonna do some cheating here. Not necessarily cheating, we're just gonna kinda do ourselves a favor here. Oops. Alright, let's see. See if we can make this even more like distorted and creepy. Oh, let me get a really big brush here. I'm gonna make this real small like this. And let's do, kind of bring this in more down this way too. So it's like hella distorted. We might even be able to make the head a bit bigger for maximum distortion. Yeah. He's gonna be real distorted here. Let's see. We also even have a fisheye lens thing we could do here. Let's put it like on the face. Maximum distortion. I like that. I really like that. It's so stupid. But we'll have it. We could have it like it's like somebody's looking through their peephole, and this is what they see. Excellent. Let's get rid of that behind it, and then we'll do. Let's do like the peephole area over top of it. So we can do, actually we can do this, and then we'll kind of, well, no, we'll use this tool instead here actually, because I can move this around if I need to. No, why? Why are you like this? Alright, fine. We'll do like a regular one first, and then we'll make it bigger. We'll convert this to image material, and then we can make it bigger. Alright, cool. So we got that, and let's put it in the center of the thing here. And rasterize. And then what we'll do is we'll do this like somebody's like kind of looking out their people here. So what we'll do is we're gonna duplicate the layer. We're gonna do a blur here. Well, we'll blur it more than that actually. So let's see. Just do 200. Maybe I should blur the bottom one too a little bit. Do 100 on it. Like that. So it's kind of like looking through the peephole a little bit here. Like that. And let's give our black-eyed kid some like kind of coloring, a little creepiness to them here. So we're going to invert. Put this below, and we'll just throw a color in here just to have that. We select, and then we'll have like, let's see, we could do, maybe this is like the sidewalk here, or they're just like walking up to their steps here. No, why? Alright, so this will be the little like walkway. That, and then below that we'll have like, you know, their grass is gonna be like games. Alright, so we're gonna set up a real basic background here. We're just gonna kind of vignette this a little bit here, and we're just gonna kind of imply that there's a little bit of unevenness here. You trust them? You let them in? It's kind of like there's like, just implying that there's like grass. Fence's like, oh yeah, I got plenty of candy in here. You can come on in. There's nothing strange about this. You showing up in the middle of the night here, looking creepy as fuck. Pensie's just a kind soul. Oh yeah, I mean you are champion sized. That's why I like get really confused when I watch like the Chucky movies. I'm like, he's just a fucking doll. Like, punt his ass. Like, what is? Why is it so difficult to like deal with this? I don't understand. It's like give his ass a swift kick to the fucking dome. Let's see. Let's do multiply here. Or not multiply, but let's do. I'm gonna do some hard light actually. And we're gonna kind of have like around here, like maybe there's the light's kind of like shining on him a little bit from like this area. And then we'll kind of give him like little bit of highlights here where the grass might be. I probably have a grass brush, but I don't feel like looking for it. It's fine. I'm pretty sure people can tell this is supposed to be grass. And we'll probably like do some like blurring and shit anyway, so. Try not to spend too much time on these sketches because then, you know, we're eventually gonna like determine like which ones are gonna be actual illustrations here eventually, so. We'll just have some detail here. Maybe I don't cut my grass like ever. Alright, there's that's probably about good. Let me do like a overlay here for like maybe this is like a well, porch lights are usually pretty dingy, so let's do like this. We'll kind of do a like that, and then we'll get like a darker purple around like back here. And a little bit up front too. We got that. Ooh, maybe we should have like some sort of like creepy like fog kind of like. Oops. And we'll do that. And then we'll give this some blur here. Kind of like that. And let's do this as lighten. And do like a 50%, and then we'll duplicate, do screen. We're actually gonna blur it some more. A bit like that. Then we're gonna take this one. We're gonna duplicate it again because it's a little bit sharper. And we'll do some glow dodge. And we're going to change the color on it just a little bit. Let's make it kind of like a this like greenish color here. And maybe some hard light with that. I don't know, something just to make it a little bit more creepy. And let's add, go in here, and then we're gonna take like this like dust brush and kind of just dust this around a little bit. That was like add. We're gonna give them a little bit of a blur here. Give them like a 20% blur. Something like that. And let's do this real quick. Have like a bit of a shadow here where he's like kind of standing. Make the shadow like kind of just stiff and creepy. Not necessarily accurate. Because we can blur it. Or we can smudge it. That might actually work a little bit better here. Kind of just distort it a little bit here and kind of it's down like 30%. Duplicate to linear burn. And then this, and we need some separation here. So we'll get our straight line. That'll be closer as it goes back here. And then we can't really see through his head anyway, so. No! Oh, it's because it's not connected in some of these. Let's actually just make this bigger. That'll make it easier. I can make it a little smaller for the next one. And then smaller for this one. Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect here, of course, because this is a sketch, but we're going to give it a little bit more. We're going to give it a little bit of depth here, so. It'll be like the deepest freaking steps ever here. But it's fine, it doesn't really matter. We're probably going to distort or blur this background anyway. It doesn't matter. Alright, I'm gonna put a Perlin noise over all of this. Let's do like 5, so it's a little more like grainy. And it's down like 20% here, like that. And then let's also add some texture to the walkway. I think well, here, I'll just use something like this. That'll be fine. Oh yeah, that's right. This and duplicate. Yeah, let's get that a little bit of a blur. And duplicate. Linear burn. And we'll make this brightness. Rasterize. Do like 50% here. That's good enough. Oh yeah, I didn't put any lighting on it, so let me do that real quick. Actually, put this down here. Underneath. There we go. That looks better. Alright, let's get kind of like that sickly looking light that I had going on. Kind of gross, and then we'll have it get kind of like more greenish as it goes back. And then kind of do a little bit here and on the sides too. That's probably fine. Oh, that's right, I also did an overlay layer. There. Now we'll do kind of like a sicker looking green here. Then we need some more of that like kind of fogginess to it here. So it's going over everything. Oops. Trying to just be a little more rounded as it comes forward here. And let's blur this a bit. Let's blur it to like 50. Do screen. Duplicate it. Oh wait, this was lighten first. Then it was screen. And I ordered that by like 200. And they should be like 50%. Okay, we'll do glow dodge. Change the color a little bit. There we go, that's probably about okay. We don't want to go too nuts here because these are just, my stream keeps cutting out. Oh no.
The internet keeps going down.
Oh, my internet is like being shitty. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Actually, let's see. Ooh, yeah, I need some water. You're right. I'm gonna sit up straight. Let's give this kind of like, kind of want like some like odd colors here in the back. That we'll do soft light. And then we'll do another gradient map here. And maybe I'll do like some more of like a spoopier gradient map. Maybe not that one. I don't know if I like these. Kind of like using, like I said, like the holographic one, because I can bring out like different like tones and whatnot, and it makes it look kind of like crazy. Let's bring that down to like 30%. We'll bring this down to like 50% here. So it's going to look kind of like grainy and distorted. And bring this down to like 15. Yeah, make it a little bit better. See what we can do with this too, actually. Maybe we can come up with something that looks kind of cool. Kind of like it maybe a little more. We're going to desaturate it a bit since it's the background. Alright, it doesn't have to be perfect. This is just the sketch anyway, so we're just going to leave that like this for now. Go ahead and I'm just going to merge that together. Layer, duplicate, duplicate. And some chromatic aberration. Oh no, the fan. It's like, we hates you. What was I gonna do? Oh, yeah. That, and then 30%. Alright, we're just gonna make it look kind of funky to make him a little more like creepy. Oh yeah, no, I appreciate it, Pensy. Alright, so let's see here. So let's give them, well, let's see if I can give them like a little bit of a creepier skin tone here. We'll do that, where it's kind of like a little bit grayish. And then I think I'm going to make like their hair like kind of like a white color here. So we're just going to kind of go through and select, which is actually kind of hard now that it's like super distorted. And then I gotta get like where his little sideburns are here. That's good enough, and then we'll get like his like weirdo eyelashes. Right. And he needs some colors for the clothes. I'm thinking about giving him like a dark shirt here. That, and then what we'll do is we'll be even more silly here. We're gonna put an alien on his shirt. real sketchy. There we go. He's got a little alien on his shirt. And then below that, he needs some shorts. We'll give him some green shorts just because I don't know what else to give him. And we can't really see his shoes, so it doesn't really matter so much. Alright, I also want to put some green on him. For the noise, we're going to do just a slight green on him. %, there. And let's see, can we give him anything else that might make his skin a little bit of a different texture? Something to make him look a little different, you know. He's supposed to be creepy, he's supposed to be weird. Let's see if I can find like an image material. Searching. Oh yeah, he's a totally normal human kid. I don't know at all what you mean about him being weird. Like, there is nothing wrong with him whatsoever. Havoc, in the stories, do they like do something bad to you if you let them in? Like,
You get sick.
you get sick.
Like psychic sick, like a psychic attack. They sound kind of like, you know the like Men in Black stories where they break in and they're not really human.
Not really human, yeah.
They're kind of dimensional.
Okay.
Similar to that.
Okay, cool. Gotcha. Havoc says they make you like kind of like sick on like a.
They fuck with you. Yeah, like they psychically fuck with
Yeah, like they psychically make you sick. I don't know. Maybe if we give them kind of like a something like this, and then what we can do is we can rasterize it and take away the opacity, brightness. We'll just do it like real subtle. That'll make them look a little bit different there overall. Maybe. I'm gonna keep looking real quick. Might have something better. Actually, that might look a little bit different here. So let's get rid of that. Oh shit, that was the wrong. No, that was the right one, right? Yeah. Let's do this. Maybe we'll see how this looks. Put this. Let's put this below like the hair and everything because it's going to be on the skin. And rasterize it. Choose the brightness to opacity. Ooh, yeah, he's got like almost like kind of like a spacey kind of skin like this. Brightness. There we go. Now he'll look like kind of weird, kind of different. So as we like him, as we want him here, we want him to be super spoopy. All right, cool. So we got that. Let's do some shadows. Start with the soft shadows here. Kind of like make this a little darker here because the light's going to be like essentially coming from, well, even though one side of his face is going to be in shadow, just to be creepy, or even though it kind of doesn't make sense with our light source, but shh, it's okay. We just want him to look creepy. Alright, and let's also have where his head is casting this like big ass shadow here as well. We're going to bring the opacity way down, of course. Linear burn. And let's do some harder shadows now. So we're going to kind of follow our shadow line here that we had. That. I'm going to lower this down to 50% here so we can see below it. I'm going to cut out here and here. And we're going to cut out a little bit of like where he's going to have some like shine on his eye. Like that. And then I'm going to take this and kind of blur it here and there. Just to that. Let's do our hard shadow here for like the neck. And we'll just have like a little bit of the shoulders here, kind of. We're going to say his head's taking up like a big amount of space here, so there's going to be shadow, of course. And we're going to do real basic shadows in the ears, because it's not something we need to do a lot of detail necessarily on. His hair. Kind of like get like the hair shadows here. And we're just going to kind of add some like random kind of like shadows in here, because I don't feel like doing crazy details right now. We'll carve away some of this here. Oh, I see what we can do. We can do kind of like the rounded effect here with the head. Kind of like that, and then we can like carve a little bit out here like this. He still wants to know if you have any games on your phone. And then we're gonna have like below the chest area, that should all be in shadow as well. And we'll have like down here and down here also be in shadow like this. That's probably good enough. So we're going to reduce our opacity. Duplicate. Let's give it a little bit of a Gaussian blur here. Let's do like 10. There, duplicate. Linear burn. I'm going to bring down this shadow just a bit to like 20% here. He looks totally normal. I don't know what you're talking about. Absolutely nothing wrong with this kid whatsoever. Alright, let's do some hard light here. Let's get that kind of sickly light I had going on from the freaking porch light. And then we'll have it get a little, of course, lighter as it gets towards the top here. I kind of want it to be a little more like greenish down here. That'll make it more like creepy. Kind of like that. And we'll give them like some like highlight areas with like this green here. Kind of like in those little highlights right there. Lip here. Sure, on the outside a little bit too, I think will serve pretty well. Make him look more unsettling. Maybe we can add like some different colors in here too. Let's kind of reinforce this side being a little darker here. That and under the chin. And a little bit under here, of course. Yes, creepiness. I'm gonna blur it a little bit though. Let's do like 10. Down to like 30%. Duplicate. Glow dodge. Let's blur that even more. And we'll do add glow. Then we're going to do overlay layer here. Use some different colors this time. Actually, let's do more of this up here. And we'll do this down here. Really want to emphasize the perspective here. It's probably all right. Like I said, I don't want to do too terribly much here because it's supposed to just be a sketch anyway. Let's give him some kind of wild, like, skin going on here. Turn that down to like 50%. I should give him, I think I have like a moon kind of like, give him some like let's try pin light. And then we'll reduce the opacity on it to like maybe like 30% or so. And I definitely need to make like the eyes like darker, of course. So we're gonna go in here. Go ahead and fill this in. Definitely want to make sure that the eyes are very, very dark. That's the whole point. It's okay. We're gonna hit multiply on them so they're real dark here. Actually, let's bring this up to the surface more here. I think that'll help. Like that. And then we can do some like highlights on the eyes. Nose, like on the lip area here. Add 50%. Duplicate, and then we'll do add glow. I'll put this below. Alright, cool. So we got that. Let's see, I kind of want to mess with the color slider again here. That didn't really do too much. Let's do our tone curve. Want to have them be decently contrasty here, I think. Maybe not that dark. Kind of thinking maybe I don't really like this gradient map so much. I don't know if I want it to be green so much. That one's kind of cool. Oh. What about this one? Kind of like that one. Yeah, that was a little bit better. Alrighty. I'm already spending way too much time on this. This is like almost the whole stream here, jeez. Oh yeah, it's very silly. So It's definitely definitely fun. Stop. Alright, let's merge that together. There, duplicate. Color. I got an idea here. Let's do really big, like, chromatic aberration. Ooh, that looks crazy. Difference. You know, maybe if we put that behind it, then we do motion blur. Ooh, yeah, it looks pretty neat. Bring that down to like 50%. We can do actually some cool effects here with the different layer blending modes. Let's also have our motion blur on this one. And then we'll do maybe, and we'll bring that down to like 30% or so. Maybe not exclusion. Let's see what else we can do here. Linear light looks kind of good. Brightness. I should put a little bit of difference on that, and then one last one here. That, well, I don't know if I want this one to be difference too. Maybe this one could be divides a little bright. A pin light. Oh, pin light works pretty well. I think that looks pretty good. And then I kind of want to do, just to reinforce that this is like a peephole here. Do this, and then we're gonna, whoops. Do this as like screen, 50%. Probably lower the opacity even more. Let's do maybe like 10%, and then we'll duplicate it, and we'll do like an add glow. Blur it some more. Like 50. Kind of makes it a little bit more like it's, we're looking through a lens here. Kind of like that. And that's probably good. Maybe. Hold on. Let's duplicate, maybe Add. There we go. Alright, he's here to ask if you have games on your phone. Let's fit him on the screen here so you guys can see him a little bit better. I think that's pretty good. That's good. That's gonna have to do for the sketch. So let's merge that all together here. Alright, so we got our Black Eyes Kid. Man, that took so much longer than I meant to take. I'm sorry, guys. Alright, so we got Black Eyes Kid. What is something... I don't know if I can do anything else like relatively quickly here. Which is totally okay, I guess. I don't know, maybe I can do like the slasher slashed mass killer. At least start it, maybe. And then we can pick it up later. So I definitely need some reference for this. I really like my boy Jason. You know, I've never actually done a fan art of Jason. That might be kind of cool. Let's see. Trying to find a decent enough picture here. You know, if I actually type Jason Friday the 13th, that should bring him up directly. There we go. Hell yeah. Let's see. That one's pretty cool. Kind of like that one. Image. Let's see. Let's do stream stuff. Do references. Stick that in there. Here's a close-up. That's definitely what I need for the mask. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and load the reference in here. I can get to the right folder. Sorry I'm not talking as much too. I'm kind of like a little bit just like off today because I'm not used to not having my medicine and then having like a different one. So, alright, so with Jason here, I feel like I'm gonna use... I think what I'll do is I'll set up like a little 3D model here because maybe I'll just do a fan art of him anyway at some point. So he's pretty goddamn beefy. Like he's a big boy. They don't ever explain how he goes from being like a dead child to like a grown ass man. That's a little too beefy. That's a little bit better. I think that'll probably actually work for our base here. Because like in the first movie, he's like a child that like drowned pretty much. And then all of a sudden he is like this big, like, massive dude. Maybe his vengeance is what made him into like such a big spirit creature thing. Is he really evil though? He got done wrong, you know. I mean, granted, like the people that he's killing aren't the ones that did it anymore, so it's like, like I almost feel like he's kind of more like almost like a sentry spirit. Like if somebody just shows up there, he's like, you gotta go, you can't be here. Like I don't think he's like a villain type really. He's just like, I don't know, he's just like an angry spirit that has like a pretty large aggro radius if you go anywhere near Crystal Lake. So really, anybody getting in within aggro range is it's their fault. They should have stayed the fuck away. Yeah, he's like, this is my hood, man. Like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? Ooh, maybe if we had him like from the back, kind of turned a little bit, like this, be kind of cool with his butt. Let me see. I think I have a machete here too. Let me do this, and we'll do machete. Machete does not text. I only have a sci-fi one, but it's going to be a placeholder, so it's fine. Let's see, is this his right hand or his left hand? I can't really tell. Yeah, he just wants to rest in peace, you know? And if you show up there, you'll be resting in pieces. Let's see if we can get it kind of like in his hand here. Zoom in, that'll help me. Oh man, I'm getting really hungry. I need to turn it a little bit. Because he's got his wrist turned a little. Maybe I need to make it a little bit bigger so the handle kind of fits in his big ass hand here. Well, it's not as turned as much as I thought. It's kind of turned out actually. Alright, that's a little bit better. And then maybe this way, tilted. Hell yeah. And I think I have a mask. It's not going to be the same type of mask, but if I put it on the model, it might help me with the way it's turned. And we can do this. The origin point. We can do this head. Oh my god, it's huge. I need to zoom out. Massive. Ooh, I could almost do it like it's a movie poster and have like the big mask in the background. Alright, let's get it around kind of closer to the size of the face here. It's got to go down more. And I gotta zoom in again so I can see what I'm doing here. Why is it black like that? Must be the way the lighting is on it. Grab that. Move it like over. We're getting there. So it's kind of like, looks like the mask is still a little too big. And it needs to be like rotated. This is not the right angle at all. I might be making this more difficult for myself than I need to. Alright, fine. What we'll do, I think, we're going to delete this. We got to figure out exactly how close we want the camera to be and everything here. Let me select him real quick. I like to always have a bit of a manga perspective on here, so we'll do that at 1. Let's have him closer. And then let's do image material. We're going to grab our rule of thirds here real quick. Portrait. Oops, don't put it on the 3D. That's not what I want. I want to put it above the 3D. Yeah, I think I'm just going to get I'm going to get this set up, and then I will be able to do like a sketch for it later. I like how I typed in like Halloween metal for my playlist here, and it's kind of just like doing its own fucking thing like it always does. It's like, I don't care at all what you want. Alright, so we can, with the rule of thirds, you either want them like on one of these lines, or you want the points of interest to be like in the intersecting lines. Kind of like a little bit more of like an above view here. Oh, word. Oh, I see what I can do here. I can have it like this. Then I can kind of try to see if I can get the machete on one of these intersecting lines here. Of course, I could move his arm for this too. There we go. That's better. Kind of want to bring him a little more closer in though. That, and then I kind of want to have another model over here like on the ground, like, oh my god, I'm about to be killed, I totally tripped. You know, because people always trip Jason's just getting his steps in. Him and Michael have a little club where they get their steps in every day. So let's see. Let's find like a busty one too. Because it's always those that get like murked, right, in those movies. What about this one? How's this one look? Why are they so huge? Holy shit, they're massive. Let's bring them down so they're much smaller than Jason. That's true. He can appear out of nowhere as well. You're right. I don't know. It's just funny to me that he has like my little silly headcanon is that he has a little like has the little armbands and the tiny little weights, and he's just like shuffling next to Michael as they go around the neighborhood and like wave to people and stuff. Let's see. Trying to find a good pose for the other one. There's this. Can maybe make it like she's like reaching out for like help or something to somebody. Well, I kind of want her to be closer though. Yeah, maybe she's like reaching out for somebody that's like kind of off camera a little bit here. And Jason's like, fuck you gonna do, son? Ooh, there's also like a laying down one. Oh, okay. Apply it to this model. That's what I want. Or not. You can just not do what I want at all. What about this one? And let's flip the pose the other way so she's kind of like looking up. Maybe. Oop, that's not the right one. I need this one here. Let's make sure she's on the ground, and let's make sure he's on the ground too. Actually, I didn't do that yet. Okay, now he's on the ground, she's on the ground, so he needs to go. Nope, stop. Don't lift him up off the ground. That's not what I want. I want him to move. No. It's like this 3D is awesome, but sometimes it's also like really frustrating. Alright, I want to make sure. Well, it's got an intersection here actually on the hand. And then, let's see, I might even be able to bring her a little closer to be on this. Make her, I feel like she needs to be a little bit bigger. And then, like that. And then we'll do something with the background here. Think about doing ghost faces yours? Hell yeah. Sounds cool to me. Maybe if we even bring this... Can I bring this closer in? Kind of have him like fully in the shot here. And then maybe something like that. All right, we're going to go ahead and save. I'm going to do a little wrap up here. I need to go get my medicine. So we set up our little mass killer slasher Jason one here. And then, of course, we did our super creepy black eye kid that's at the door. He is after games. Nothing else. Nothing else is weird, like, whatsoever about him. So, yeah, let me go ahead and stick you guys in the lobby here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. If you like the kind of content I do, please consider following me to see when I go live. I am pushing for partner, so if you would also consider subscribing, that would help me out tremendously, and I'd really appreciate it. I will not be streaming the next 2 days. I take Thursdays, Wednesdays, and Sundays off. So I will be back on Friday. I'll likely be playing some more Schedule 1 if you want to hang out with me while I'm doing